Where we last left off, our courteous youth, full of strength and gentleness, the one who had conquered his beauty, but also been conquered by her beauty. We're traveling down the road, not alone, but in the good company of good men, with talents scoffed and scorned by those who are after professions, but exactly the kind of men you want to have around when you have a vision such as the one they had conquered together. They were off traveling down the road, for the king back in the castle was furious and had ordered his guards to follow them, to bring them back under pain of death. Upon hearing these footsteps, the princess turned and begged the man with eyes of flames, saying, "Who cometh?" Having turned to look, he told her that a large army of men on horseback were advancing at a gallop. "They are my father's guards," she said. "We shall have some difficulty in escaping them." Seeing for herself that the king's guards, the horsemen, drew near, she took the veil from her face and she threw it behind her in the direction of the wind and said, "I command as many trees to spring up as there are threads in this veil." Instantly, in the twinkling of an eye, a high, thick forest rose up between them. Before the soldiers had time to clear for themselves a pathway through this dense mass, Matthias and his party had been able to get far ahead, and even to take a little rest. Speaking again to the man with flames in his eyes, the princess said, "Look, and see if they are still coming after us." The man with flames in his eyes looked back and replied that the king's guards were out of the forest and coming towards them with all speed. "Oh, they will not be able to reach us." And she let fall a tear from her eyes, saying as she did so, "Tear, tear, become a river." At that very moment, a wide river flowed between them and their pursuers, and before the latter had found means of crossing it, Matthias and his party were far off in front. "Man with eyes of flames," said the princess, "look behind once again. Tell me how close we are followed." "They are quite near to us again," he replied. "They are almost upon our heels, princess." Drawing herself within, she spoke. "Darkness, cover them." At these words, Tall drew himself up and he stretched and stretched until he reached the clouds. And there, with his hat, he half covered the face of the sun. The side towards the soldiers was black as night, while Matthias and his party, lit up by the shining half, went a good way without hindrance. When they had traveled some distance, Tall uncovered the sun. He soon joined his companions by taking a mile at each step. They were already in sight of Matthias's home. They noticed that the royal guards were again following them closely. "Now it's my turn," said Broad. "Go on your way in safety. I will remain here. I shall be ready for them." He quietly awaited their arrival, standing motionless, with his large mouth open from ear to ear. The royal army advanced. Mistaking Broad's open mouth for one of the city gates, they all dashed through and disappeared. Broad closed his mouth, and having swallowed them, ran to rejoin his comrades in the palace of Matthias's father. He could hear the shouts of the people assembled around Matthias as they rejoiced at his safe return. "Ah, here you are at last, Brother Broad," cried Matthias. "What have you done with the army? Where have you left it?" "The army is here, quite safe," answered he, patting his enormous person. "I shall be very pleased to return them as they are, for this morsel is not very easy to digest." "Come then, let them out of their prison," said Matthias, enjoying the joke and at the same time calling all the inhabitants to assist at the entertainment. Broad, enjoying the attention, putting his hands to his side, began to cough. Then it was really a sight worth seeing. At each cough, horsemen and horses fell out of his mouth, one over the other, plunging, hopping, jumping, trying who could get out of the way the quickest. The last one had a little difficulty in getting free, for he somehow got into one of Broad's nostrils and was unable to move. It was only through a good sneeze that Broad released him. A few days later, a splendid feast was given at the wedding of Prince Matthias and his bride. The king, her father, was also present. Tal had been sent to invite him. Everything was now arranged to everybody's satisfaction. The king was delighted to know that his daughter was married to a rich and noble prince. Matthias generously rewarded his brave traveling companions, who remained with him to the end of their days.